What is up? What is going on, everybody? I am back with the Mariners post-game recap. They find a way. They find a way to get it done. 8-7 over the Mets. Can we say enough about JP Crawford? We're going to get into him, but oh my gosh, I cannot say enough good things about JP Crawford. Mariners win it. And as frustrating as this game was at times, as back and forth, as much of a battle as it was, could end up being one of the most important wins they've had all season. We'll get into all of it. Before I do, you guys can hit that sub button for me. I'm just 6 subs away from 2,200. So if you guys just kind of casually watch and you enjoy the videos, you don't mind, hit that sub button. Also hit the like button. That helps get the video out to more people. And a huge thank you to everybody that is subscribed. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate every single one of you and all of your support for my channel. So thank you very much. It was not easy. It was not easy in this one today. Every time the Mariners scored, the Mets seemed to respond. But you know what? As much as the Mets responded, so did the Mariners. They didn't let this one get away from them. Well, I guess they did a little bit, but they didn't let it stop them from fighting back and adding runs. At the end of the day, the bullpen found a way to get it done. You know, everybody was just kind of good enough today. And I said it on Twitter. The Mets are a team that they're just bad enough to make this game super annoying, and they're just good enough to win some of these games. They're not White Sox bad. They're not A's bad. Their lineup's pretty solid. Like, there's some lot of good hitters in there. Their pitching and bullpen outside of Senga is not great. And the Mariners took advantage of that. The Mariners beat the Mets kind of the way you're going to have to do it. I thought this was going to be a tough series. One, I just had, every now and then you just get a gut feeling, and I had it for this series. Thought yesterday was going to be tough going against Senga. It was. And today turned out to be a battle, but they found a way. They found a way to get it done. And if you want to be frustrated about the win, you can. I get it. But Houston lost today to the Yankees. They're on the verge of being swept by a pretty mediocre Yankees team. Texas loses again to Minnesota. They're on the verge of being swept by the Twins. And the Rockies are beating the Blue Jays. They're 3 outs away. All those teams would trade places with the Mariners beating the Mets today. And truthfully, outside of Texas, Mariners playing the second best team out of all those right now. So let's get into it. I will get to JP Crawford in a second. Let's start with the pitching, as I always do. Luis Castillo is not very good today. 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 2 home runs. It was kind of one of those April, May. Actually, in April, Castillo was lights out. May, June, Castillo starts. I don't know. The long ball came back, got hit a little bit. DJ Stewart got him for one. And then, who was it? Vientos got him for the other one. Listen, I'm not worried about Luis Castillo at all. I'm just grateful that they found a way to get the win. I can break down Castillo a little bit further. I mean, you could try, but listen, it's going to happen. I have no qualms about Luis Castillo going forward here. It just seemed like one of those nights. And they've won like 7 straight Luis Castillo starts. Now, winning is not always a pitcher stat. Like, I don't look at pitcher wins at all, truthfully. But the fact that they have won that many of his starts in a row probably means he's been pitching pretty well, and he has been. He's been lights out as of late. Had a little bit of a rough start. I was disappointed in the 6th inning. I will say that. The Mariners got up 7-3. Castillo came back in for the bottom of the 6th, gives up the home run to Vientos and walks Narvaez. That was frustrating. That was really disappointing. After the Mariners go get the 7-3 lead, for him to come out in the 6th inning and struggle to get a couple outs was frustrating. Castillo's trying to get the outs. I'm not going to sit here and, again, lecture a professional athlete on this. He's trying to get the outs. It was just disappointing that he couldn't, especially when you get a lot of runs, you want your pitcher to go back out there and squash any momentum that other team can get. And he just couldn't do that. And then it ends up leading to, the 2-run home run by Lindor when Spire comes in there. So Castillo, not great. He'll be fine. Need him to be better. He's got to be better than this, and I think he will be. Gabe Spire, 2/3 of inning, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 2 Ks. Kind of a weird outing for Spire because, I actually thought he threw the ball really well, and it was just 1 pitch to Lindor. And I don't even think it was that bad of a slider. It hung a little bit. It wasn't. I think Lindor did go down and get it a little bit. I'd have to go back and watch it. I don't think it was an awful pitch. I could be wrong. Don't come on and say, oh, no, Jay, it was terrible. Maybe it was. But from my initial watch of it, I don't remember it being all that bad. It was just Lindor went down and got it. I think it was a little further up than Spire would have wanted. But other than that, Spire came in, got a couple strikeouts, put out a little bit of the fire. that Castillo had started. It was just that one pitch. And listen, that's Major League Baseball. You got to make that pitch. And good hitters like Lindor are going to punish that. So Spires had a little bit of a home run problem. He gave up one to Benintendi in Chicago. Velasquez got him against Kansas City. Lindor got him tonight. So got to get that corrected. Relievers are volatile. It's why you can't just have one good one down there, right? You got to have multiple solid relievers because they're all going to go through peaks and valleys. Spires a little bit in the valley right now, and I don't even think he's throwing the ball that bad. It's just been a little snake bit here. So I have no qualms, again, going to game Spire in tough situations and high leverage spots. I think he's going to be just fine. Nice job by Matt Brash today. Inning and a third, no hits, 1 walk, 2 Ks. Came in, got Pete Alonso with a 7-6 game and a runner, I believe a runner on, if I'm not mistaken. Or was he after Lindor? Yeah, McNeil reached on the bunt against Spire. Not much you can do there. McNeil just put bat on ball and got a hit. Then Brash came in, struck out Alonso, comes in, pitches the bottom of the 7th. Narvaez almost got him. So it wasn't like the most perfect outing of Brash's career, but a nice job to just kind of settle everything down. Gets a huge bat and Pete Alonso out, and then finishes off the 7th inning, gets them 4 big outs. Nice job by Matt Brash today. And in a game when, the Mets just battled. Sometimes you have to tip your cap. Last night, I tipped it to Senga. Can't get too mad at the offense. Senga's really good. That fork ball is ridiculous. What are you going to do? Like, sometimes good pitchers shut you down. Now, listen, you get to the playoffs, you're going to be facing a lot of good pitchers. You're going to have to overcome it, but it does happen sometimes. Same today. Like, the Mets offense just would not go away. It just wouldn't. So for Brash to get through that was impressive. Taylor Saucedo came in the 8th, got off to a real good start, got a couple quick outs on another great play by Eugenio Suarez defensively. My goodness, give that man the Gold Glove. He has saved so many runs. I swear nobody has had more slow rollers hit to them at third, and nobody has done a better job getting those outs than Eugenio. And then unfortunately, Jeff McNeil just turned on a bit of an inside slider. It was up a little bit. I didn't think it was a terrible, terrible pitch, probably a little too elevated. And thank goodness it didn't get out. Hit the top of the wall, and there was 2 outs. Lindor scored after he walked. And then nice job by Justin Topa. He comes on with McNeil at third, and he gets Pete Alonso to ground out. Makes a real nice play on that ball, actually. And then the 9th inning, Topa finishes it off. Thank you, Daniel Vogelbach, for trying to go to second on that. I know Vogel's got the speed. I know he's a speed demon, but man, he was out by a mile. I think the relay went to 3 different people and still got Vogelbach. He was almost safe on that play, that single in the 9th, just because of how slow he was. I don't think anybody expected him to run. So Mariners caught a break there. Stewart singled. Again, the Mets just wouldn't go away. Beatty popped up, and then it was it Alvarez that pinched hit? Yeah, Alvarez pinched hit and grounded out. Great job by Justin Topa, and congrats to him in front of friends and family to get that win. So that was really cool. And that's why I tipped my cap to Brash and Topa. The Mets offense was feisty today. I tipped my cap yesterday to Senga. He was on. Today, the Mets offense was. And the Mariners pitching just did enough. Was Castillo great? No. Was Spire great? No. I don't even know if Brash was necessarily his best. But they all they did enough. They did enough to finish it off. I'm really not that worried about the pitching staff. I will say there's some things with Munoz yesterday I'm a little nervous about. Needs to get that slider back. But the rest of it, Lindor's a good hitter. He got Spire. Castillo's been lights out for like a month and a half straight. Bad starts happen, guys. It does. Saucedo, I don't even think was that bad today. Walked Lindor. There was honestly even the at bat to Lindor. It was a couple borderline changeups that Lindor laid off of. I mean, listen, this, like I said with Spire, this is the MLB. You got to get these guys out. But I don't even think Saucedo was that far away from getting out of that inning. So, it's hard to say kudos when they give up 7 runs, but the way the Mets were swinging the bats tonight, they did enough. How about the offense tonight? Let's get into it. We'll talk about the Ty France injury. I don't know if there's been anything set from Scott, but let's get into it. J.P. Crawford. I can't say enough about him. 3 for 4. Remember, he got hit in the wrist. 3 for 4 with a home run, his 14th home run of the year. On base 3 more times today. I can't say enough. 828 OPS. JP is just been incredible. I don't know what else to say. I'm running it. He's been amazing. I cannot say enough about what his offensive performance has meant to this team this year. I mean, and he has been, listen, Julio's been great, but Julio, the first couple months was not the Julio we know and love. He was more average. JP and excuse me, Teoscar, same thing. He's been really hot of late. JP has been consistent the whole way. He's been the only guy in this lineup that from day one has been good, and he's kept it up. Just a tremendous, tremendous season from JP Crawford. And I don't know, I don't want to think where this team would be without him. And like I said, after he got hit, he's actually on base 4 times today, right? Because he was hit by a pitch, wasn't he? Am I wrong? Yeah, he was hit. So JP on base 4 more times today. Julio, 1 for 5. He should have gotten a single. They gave him an error. On that RBI, I guess it was an RBI in the 6th inning where he hit the grounder and Haggerty scored. They ruled it an error. That should have been changed to a single because Julio's speed affected that. I don't like that. That should have been a hit. Truthfully, I'm going to say something crazy. I've actually been a proponent of just getting rid of errors in general. I mean, like, we have so many metrics now that we don't need ERA and we don't need batting average. Like, so let these guys have the hit. You know what I mean? Like, we have so many advanced metrics that if a pitcher gives up a little dinky hit, on the infield, we're going to know that pitcher's still really good. Back in the day, before we had all the metrics, it made some sense because we needed a way to, like, kind of let the pitcher off the hook for some of that. But we have those ways now. But even with errors, that should have been a hit. So Julio should have had 2 hits tonight. And then the triple, just missed a home run. Crazy that that's only Julio's 2nd triple this season. I'm not going to lie. You feel like he'd have 8 or 9. But, on a down day for Julio, he still reaches base with a triple and should have had 2 hits. Gino was 1 for 5. Gino's fighting it a little bit. Thank goodness for the glove. It makes it worth keeping Gino in there every day. I'm not a big batting order person. You guys know that. I just think in the grand scheme of things, I say it all the time, good lineups hit, bad lineups don't. I mean, are we sitting there talking about the Atlanta Braves going, well, if their lineup was just tweaked a little bit? No, it doesn't matter all that much. But I will say Teo and Gino need to flip-flop, or Gino needs to move down a little bit. Bottom line is your better players should have the most at-bats. I will say that. Batting order doesn't not matter. It's just, it's at the end of the day, like, the players got to play. And no matter where they're hitting, they've got to find a way to get it done. Like, that's kind of what I'm saying. Good teams hit. But you should get better players more at-bats. And Teo needs to move up. Teo is red hot. 2 for 4 today. 3 RBIs. A home run, 24th. He is red hot. A single, which scored a run in the 3rd inning. And then a sac fly as well, which was nice to see. Cal 1 for 4 with a single. Ty was 1 for 2 and also hit by a pitch. Had to come out of the game. Ty reaches base twice. Hit on the elbow that's not being protected. I don't know if Scott said anything. Let me pull up Twitter real quick and see if there's any news on that. It sounded like an elbow contusion for Ty. Hopefully everything is okay, because I'll get into why. And I know we've been frustrated with Ty France, but Ty is he's still probably the best player in the organization to be an everyday first baseman. He is. There's some things you can do here with first base. I don't see anything up yet in terms of what happened to Ty or anything from Scott on the prognosis of Ty France. Here's the thing. I know Ty's been scuffling, and I know we'd like to see Jake Shiner come up and get a shot. I'm not convinced he's going to be better than Ty France. Maybe he is. I think you can survive a Ty France injury. Mike Ford can play first in a pinch. You could even potentially have Canzone play first when Kelenic comes back, or Cade Marlowe could play out in the outfield a little bit and Canzone can play first. I think it's survivable, but Ty France is the best first baseman in this organization. Now, in the offseason, it's something to look at if they need to make an upgrade there. Absolutely something to look at. But right now, in this season, in September, in a pennant race, a healthy Ty France is needed for this team, in my opinion. Ford was 0 for 1 in his pinch hit. Dylan Moore 0 for 2. Dom Canzone 1 for 2 with a 2-run home run. And also in the 8th inning, his at-bat smacked a line drive into left field that was caught. But pinch hit home run, nice job by Canzone. Haggerty was 0 for 3 with a walk. He did lace the ball in the 2nd inning that I thought for a second was going to get out. Caballero 0 for 3, and Rojas pinched hit and 0 for 1. Houston loses. Texas loses. You are now a full game up on Houston, which is essentially 2, because you have the tiebreaker. And that tiebreaker is standing. You've won the season series with Houston. So no matter what, now it would benefit you to beat them in the game still because they're still well within shouting distance. But the tiebreaker cannot go away. The Mariners are now 2 up on Texas as well. They're 1 up on Houston, 2 up because of the tiebreaker, and they're 2 up on Texas, which they do not have the tiebreaker on the Rangers. So that is a legit 2 on Texas. And Toronto is 3 outs away from losing. The Mariners have the tiebreaker on them. They'd be 4.5 up for the wild card. And being above Houston and Texas obviously gives you that buffer for the wild card as well. Most impressive win of the year? No, not at all. Might be the most important with the other results in baseball tonight. It just might be. It might turn out to be one of the turning points. There was a point in this game when the Mets tied it at 3 on the Stewart home run, where Houston was ahead of New York, Texas was way up on Minnesota, and Toronto was up 5-0 on Colorado. I was already getting my thoughts ready to come on here and talk about how, what are they going to do? Now you're facing a sweep in New York, and Houston's going to, win, and Texas and Toronto, and what's that going to mean for this team? In the span of 2 hours, it all flips. It all flips. And the Mariners find a way. There are some things to clean up. I'm not saying there isn't. There's absolutely some things this team's got to do better. But I'll tell you this, I've got a lot of subscribers are Astros fans. They'll take this W tonight. They'll trade. Texas fans will trade. Blue Jays fans will trade. It happens. You know what I mean? Like, they're not all going to be pretty. This is September baseball, guys. It is going to be like this. Every pitch is going to make you move a little bit. That 9th inning, every pitch Topa threw, I was like, oh, come on. You know what I mean? You're on edge the whole time. That's what September baseball is. There's going to be some ugly wins. There's going to be a couple heartbreaking losses. There's going to be some easy wins. It's going to be a complete bag of everything this month. The key is, though, finding a way. This was a game they've lost a lot this year, where they came back, take that lead in the 9th inning. They lost it against Chicago, Kansas City, the Colton Wong home run game in Minnesota. I know I'm missing another one in there somewhere. I can't think of one. I know there's others, but and they've lost them. They did it. They got it done tonight. Kirby on the mound tomorrow, got a chance to win the series. It's all about just getting the W's, getting them, finding a way, and getting out of Dodge. And it looks like the Mariners are also going to catch a little break because the Reds have put a lot of guys on the COVID IL here. I'm not going to lie. I didn't even know the COVID IL was still a thing. So the Mariners are going to miss like Hunter Green and I think someone else too in the rotation. So I hope they're okay, obviously, first and foremost. But the Mariners are kind of catching those right breaks. They're winning these games. In the past, Houston wins tonight and Texas wins tonight. The Mariners lose. It was the Mariners that found a way tonight. Keep it going. One step closer, right? One step closer to that division title. Toronto looks like they're coming back against Colorado. But that out of all 3 results, that's probably the least important right now. So have a great night, everybody. Enjoy your Saturday. Hopefully you guys have a 3-day weekend coming up, so enjoy the next 2 days off as well. I'll be here tomorrow for the post-game recap. So have a great Saturday, everybody. And as always, go first place, Seattle Mariners. Take care, everybody. Peace.